that you made a judgment point on without talking to me.
No, I didn't make a judgment.
If you were, because when you come up and you don't speak to me like you speak to everybody else,
well, let me have you understand something. I'm not going to treat every man the same because I'm interested in some man.
When it comes to this season of Ready to Love, there are people that I think are genuinely there for love. And then there are people that I think are very opportunistic and are just there for the opportunity that comes with it. The fact that I feel like some guys and girls have agreed that whatever happens, we're going to ride hard for one another. That way we stay till the very end, and that irregardless of them sort of staying on the show, they're not staying because they're in love. They're staying because they want the clicks and the influencer roles that come once they've left this show. That's the impression that I get. I feel like Donna doesn't deserve to be in the bottom two at the moment. I feel like she's been misjudged by the guys. I think somebody's faith should not sort of be a sort of factor that leads to people to say we don't like her. Some people might hold the Bible and be Bible thumping and still be the worst people ever. So I don't feel that that's the reason why the guys should have felt that way about her. And then Christina sadly is materialistic and she deserves to be in the bottom. I would love for her to go home. I think she needs a wake-up call and she needs to reevaluate, because at the end of the day, people don't come with price tags, and for her to want to come with price tags and demands from the guys that she's not willing to sort of reciprocate, I don't get. Anyway, I digress. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Ready to Love, season 11, episode 5. So you have the guys meet up at Aretha Franklin's house with Tommy. They are told, there's going to be a 70s dance party theme, and so everybody needs to sort of get inspiration from this house and then present themselves to this party. I feel like it was a promotion for the house. I feel like it was a promo for the house, and so this is why we're shown the house. Otherwise, there was no need for us to see the house. Anyway, you have everyone putting on their best 70s outfit. People looked amazing. Kay, they had his hair out instead of putting on an afro like everybody else. He just let his hair out, so he looked cute. And so everybody was there. They were excited to be there, and so they wanted to, mix and mingle and have conversations. And it's like, let's go, let's see who is going to sort of find their connection and who's just here for the clickbait. So you have everybody turn up. So you have Christina and Lauren sit down for a conversation, and Lauren is upset because she says Vince called her the B word. Christina is sort of saying, it's unacceptable. He needs to be confronted. He needs to be asked, and sort of called out on that. And it's like, Christina, this is not your fight to fight. He didn't say this to you. He said it about somebody else, to somebody else. He didn't say it to you. So I think the best thing you can do is mind your own business and sort of focus on your spa issue, because that's about to explode in your face instead of theirs. And then on the other end, you have Donna and Vince having a chat. Initially, I was sort of side-eyeing them because I was thinking, what is going on here? But to see them have a chat, to see them actually be giggly and giddy, I think they are on each other's level. I think they understand each other's sense of humor, one. I think they understand each other's level of intellect, two. And so they do look cute as a couple, in my opinion. So I can see them dating. You had Donna saying, she loves Vince's sense of humor. They spoke up. He was saying she gets him, and then they spoke about the gym because Vince was trying to sort of do the Terry Crews thing where he was trying to make his pecs dance, and his pecs wouldn't dance for the life of him. Anyway, they then arranged a date because Donna was saying she barely goes to the gym, and Vince was saying, okay, let's arrange a date and we can go and have this chat and see if we connect. I love their connection. I think they are a great connection. I think they're a great couple. I think they look amazing. And so I hope the two of them get a shot at sort of making this thing work. And from there, you have Vince go and pull Lauren for a chat. This was very smart on his part because he could have easily sat back and said, this is not my week to be called, to be voted out, so I can't sit back. But he actually pulled Lauren for a chat and sort of apologized to it. Say, I want to apologize for what I said. You don't deserve me making the comment that I made. And it seems, Lauren, this is something that she's carried from her past and something that easily triggers her. So she was appreciative of the apology, and she said it came across very genuine. I thought it was genuine. I really did. I really liked it. I like the fact that he didn't Well, he did it on camera, and for him, he was saying, "I didn't want to do it away from the camera because I wanted to be genuine. I wanted to be it to be in your face, in front of everyone, because what I did was wrong." And it's like the optics don't look great. It sounds like he did it for the camera, but at the same time, I appreciate him saying, pulling her aside and not making a spectacle of it in front of everybody else. So that bit I loved, that he was able to sort of pull her aside and have that conversation. You then had Darius sit down for a chat with Ashanti. I don't get it. I don't get it. They're saying, they get along very well on the phone. They can talk for hours and hours. Darius is there for the opportunities. They say they have other connections, but they are doing very well. You had Ashanti say Steven is her other connection, but she really likes Darius. I think Darius is there for the influencer roles, because looking as he does with how he presents himself, he doesn't need the show to find a lady. So the idea that he's on the show saying he's ready for love, I do not buy it. I think he's on the show to launch his clothing business. This is why he's always wearing extravagant outfits, just so he can make an impression on people, because otherwise it doesn't make sense. You then had Christina sit down for a chat with Chris. That I didn't like. Christina is coming across like, I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no. In the sense that she sort of said we should get to see a snippet from the sort of meetup with the girls meetup with Tommy, where she was saying, she asked all her connections for them to arrange a spa for her, and Chris came back to her and said, at the moment I'm not in a position to do that. And it's like, why would he do that? Why would he do that? Devon, I think, was worried that nobody was going to back him. This is why he did it. But everybody else doesn't need you to save them. And this is why they weren't willing to fork out the money like Devon. And so the idea that she was saying, I still want to get to know him, even though he couldn't pay for my massage. And it's like, girl, you better take a seat. She was asked, what are the biggest obstacles in a relationship? And for her to turn around and say, well, if a guy can't give me what I want, then he's not the guy for me. And it's like, I don't get it. And I appreciate that, you had Chris come back and say, this is 6 weeks. You're dating multiple people. How then do you know? And she said, well, I asked 3 guys for a massage and, this is what happened. And it's like, it's now becoming a competition. As far as I'm concerned, I think the only reason she would stay on the show is because she's very toxic. I think there are other girls that deserve to be in the bottom that don't bring anything to the table. Yes, we can have her and her toxicity around and be messy, but I also think Donna still deserved a shot, and she still deserved a shot to stay in the show. The conversation between Bello and Dominique, for me, I don't get it. It sounds like they've been physical, in my opinion. I think they're now just staying on the show just to be on the show, whether they knew each other before they came on or whether they came on and that instant spark. Because you had Bello asking her about her goals, and she was saying, she wants to open a storefront for clothes, a little boutique for clothes and stuff. And he said, I'm in real estate, so I can help you sort that out. And it's like, okay, it sounds cute, but at the same time, I don't know whether I buy it. I don't know whether you two have sat down and had a conversation and decided that you're going to try and market yourself as much as you can on the show until the opportunities present themselves to you, because otherwise it's not making sense how you can go from that to suddenly the two of you are talking about your goals and whatever without truly knowing one another. I guess that's a form of getting to know each other, but still I am side-eyeing that. Shannon and Devon had a little chat. I think they're cute, but I don't know whether they're cute enough for me. I think Devon is better off going off with someone like Nicole. I think Nicole is highly intelligent. She's sweet. She's caring. She's endearing. So I think she's a better girl for him. I know that Shannon looks the same, but Shannon, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is the professional student. So I don't get why he would want to be with her. I don't think she'll be challenging enough for him. And I think his type of person might be Nicole. So them having a chat and arranging this Pilates date, yes, he said he's comfortable in his masculinity. I love that. I love that. Because I remember one of the girls were criticizing Devon, saying he's hypersexual and whatever. So for him to let it be known, and I think one of production must have sat down with him and saying, the girls are saying you're too feminine in your ways and you need to stop sort of flapping your hands about, because he started to move his hands and then he quickly sat on them. And so he must have had constructive feedback from someone to say, you need to stop, leading with your hands. You need to communicate with your mouth. So I don't know whether they'll work, but I don't see it. And then you had this royal rumble between Christine and Vince. I don't get it. I think Christine wanted the attention. I think Christine was looking to be messy. That way she can be kept on the show because she brings the drama. Because, you had to sort of try and call out Vince to say you insulted my friend. And Vince said, I don't like the fact that you judged me. But one thing about Vince is he's always going to stand on business. He's always going to, defend himself and do what he feels is in his best interest. So he said to her, you misjudged me. You heard something that I said and you didn't call me aside to ask me. Instead, you ran with it. Why would you do that? And so Christine, I think, was looking for the drama. I think she wanted to be the center of attention and she really wanted to drag this man for filth. And this is why she started this drama of saying, you said something negative about my friend. I don't like that. I don't see it. And so they agreed to disagree. For her to say, he just wanted me to let him know, basically that I'm not interested. And it's like, this is not what he came to you for. He didn't say he likes you romantically. So the idea that suddenly you hearing him sort of call you out leads you to believe that he wants you to reject him. I don't get it. And I don't think the guys are interested in Christina as she thinks they are, which is really a wake-up call for her, given how she said the guys behave around her. You then had Nicole have this chat with Chris. Nicole is the sweetest girl in the experiment, in my opinion. She's followed by Shannon, but I think Nicole is the sweetest girl ever because she was saying, she's worried that she's very nervous that she might be dumped, that she might be the girl in the bottom. And it's like, I don't think so. I think the guys, if they dump Nicole, it's because they feel they don't measure up or they cannot be the man that she wants, and that's why they would want to dump her. So I really feel sorry for her. I thought she'd connect with, Ed, and they'll go right off into the sunset, but it seems it's going to take a little while. You had Darius have a conversation with Ashley, and you were saying, they have a great connection. She was saying she's upset that he still has multiple connections. And it's like, girl, it's week 3, week 4. What do you expect? Do you expect to have dumped everyone? That's not the concept of the show. If your bond is strong, it will survive this. He said he really liked her. He thought their connection was great, and so he thought they were doing great. I don't get it for Darius. I think Darius is just being opportunistic and is there for the clout that comes with being on the show. He said he more or less implied he's getting the flutters because he was asked, how do you know that a woman is the one? And he said, I get the flutters and I'm getting them at the moment. Is he getting the flutters? No, I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think he said what he felt needed to be said in order for him to sort of be chosen. That's the impression that I got. You then had every couple, people in little couples sort of having chat. I'm surprised we really don't hear much from Kate. I think Kate is very popular with the ladies, and I think he's not bringing the toxicity that production need, and this is why we don't get to hear them. You had this conversation between Ed and Donna. I think that was flogging a dead horse. Because I don't think they'll ever understand each other. Because Donna is saying I'm spiritual. You have someone else saying I'm religious. I believe in God. I think they both believe in the same thing, but it's how they label it. And so the idea that they would want to sort of address that, sadly, Donna signed her own fate. The moment she confronted Darius and called him out and said, you're a game player, and then when she spoke about her spirituality, she should have got to know this man first before she went into spirituality, and this is why they are where they are and why she's going to struggle, and she's going to continue to be placed in the bottom by the guys until they dump her or until somebody goes hard and fights for her. So I hope she does find another connection outside of Vince, because I don't know how much longer Vince can continue to save her. Anyway, Tommy arrives and he reveals that it's time for the guys to go and deliberate. And you can see the strategy in the girls in the sense that you had some of them, shouting, Bello, make wise decisions. Oh, so and so, am I safe? And it's like, why are we doing this? And why is production allowing them to do this? This is about love. This is not about being safe. If you find your partner, you can both leave the show. You don't need to stay on the show. So let's not make it seem like you can only find your love on the show. Anyway, the guys go and sit with Tommy, and Tommy's sort of asking them, what do you think about the girls? The guys were in unison that, Nicole, there's depth, she's there needs to be more conversation, and I totally agree with that. Ashanti, apparently she's a good vibe. I don't get it. Ashley is a good vibe. Dominique is a good vibe. She's funny. She's a prayer warrior. It's one moment she's praying for you, one moment she's being funny, and so the guys love that about her. Shannon, it seems they said she's a good vibe as well, and it's like, I don't get it. I really don't understand it. Then the guys moved on to the girls that they're not connecting with. Christina was tops. They said, money means more to her than anything else, and she likes to compare guys and what they're doing for her. Do I agree? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. She's already said it that she's materialistic and there are things that she expects from a guy, and if she's not getting it, then the relationship is not going anywhere. Donna, sadly for me, I agree with her that she was prejudged. Guys have a misconception of her. They've misjudged her, and they're going to label her as that, regardless of what else she does to try and sort of prove them wrong. So it's really sad that she's in this position whereby there's nothing she can say or do to protect herself, because the guys have had this opinion formed about her. Some were complaining that she's very busy, and Vince was getting agitated because you were saying just because she's busy for you doesn't mean she's busy. Maybe she doesn't want to talk to you, and that's why she's saying she's busy. And so Tommy then decided that the guys needed to make a decision. The guys came back to the group and revealed that Christina and Donna were in the bottom. Do I agree with their choice? No, I don't think so. I think Donna deserves to still be on the show. Even Christina herself still deserves to be on the show with her annoying self. I think they could have removed somebody who's boring, but we'll wait to see who's dumped. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Click on the link in my video to watch my review from episode 4. Bye everyone.